This release definitely caught me by surprise, and my first reaction when I saw this was, this looks ridiculous. Like, let's be honest. No, you would feel a little ridiculous wearing this, and we can all agree on that. But this isn't the first AR headset. Like, we know what a headset looks like. We know what this looks like. This is actually the best looking one so far, right? I mean, we've come a long way from this thing. This is the PlayStation VR. I believe this is the MK1. Like, everything's falling apart. This thing is also heavy, plugged into the wall. This one is not battery powered. On the new one, we have that battery, but you have a cable. Like, everything that I've heard about it so far from everyone, like, yes, it's amazing. Yes, it's mind-blowing. And it's gonna be awesome in 5 years. People are impressed by what it can do, but nobody's like, wow, this is it. You know, like, this is the beginning. And yes, it's Gen 1. Like, remember the first iPhone? Like, nobody thought it was gonna be like how it is now. I mean, I didn't even like the first iPhone when it came out. And we're at what, 14 now? So think about this. This is Gen 1. So we're definitely a long way away, but I feel like Apple finally normalized it. Like, now it's official. Now pay attention to AR and VR. The Microsoft, the PlayStation, those were kind of like luxury items, and this is still a very luxury item. $3,500, guys. I thought it was gonna be at $1,999. $3,500 lets me know that, of course, this doesn't have any apps yet. They want the developer not only to be the consumer, but to build for the platform and actually make it what it is. So here's something that we haven't really talked about. The eye thing, where you can see the person. Yo, if you're wearing that, and I'm talking to you, take that shit out. I'm not trying to, like, what? Oh, hi. Oh, I'm sorry, what? Like, no, like, not yet. Okay, I wanted to start this video off a little more factual, but I'm sure you guys have already seen all the facts. You guys already know there's a computer inside. It's not just a monitor, how it kind of first seemed. There is a computer in there, and it starts at $3,500, but I'm assuming that there's gonna be more storage, more options. They're already talking about there's different bands. There's gonna be upgrades, of course. Think about every Apple product. So yeah, that was a little weird. I don't see people walking around with this. I don't see this being anything yet, and of course it's not gonna be because it's very expensive. It's only gonna be accessible to a certain group of people. Like most people have said, in 5 years, hopefully it'll be where it needs to be. Right now, it has a cable going out of it. They did this because the battery is heavy and the unit itself is already heavy. All VR and AR headsets out there are heavy, so like this is not news. But imagine if that battery was inside of there, that would have made it a lot heavy. Even with the PlayStation one, I couldn't have that thing on for more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. So I've already heard people saying that there's no way that they could sit down and watch a 2-hour movie with this thing. Something that I am excited about this though is the developer side, because the App Store is empty right now. This is why they announced this so early, because they want people to develop apps for this OS, because it's a whole new OS. But what I heard someone say was that the OS is similar to the iPad OS in the sense that you're using your finger to like scroll through things and move windows. So what this makes me think is, you know how the iPad, like you have all these beautiful music apps that you just interact with? It's gonna be the same exact way, but you're gonna be like doing that like large. I'm sure we're gonna see some really cool stuff with music coming, where we're gonna be able to interact with like nothing. You're gonna have a mini keyboard, games, like imagine like being inside a concert, like so many cool things that are gonna be available to this in the future. If you're gonna jump in, you know, if you're already like, oh yeah, I'm an average consumer and I totally need this, it's only $3,500. You're sort of paying to be a beta tester because there's nothing out there yet. You're only getting the basic Apple apps. You're gonna get your Safari, your Notes, your Contact, your Messenger. Let's talk about the FaceTime in the picture thing, because I thought that was a little creepy. I get the idea, but the other person isn't looking at you. They're looking at an avatar. I don't know if maybe you missed that part, but the way it works is you have your headset on, you see the people that you're talking to, like in your field of vision, but what are they seeing? Because you have the headset on. So how Apple like worked around this is they made an avatar of you. So this person is really interacting with an avatar of you. Why would someone want to FaceTime you and FaceTime with an avatar? I don't understand. This leads me to think that like these avatars are gonna be like the Apple metaverse avatars, and soon we're gonna be like in there. If anyone is gonna get us into the metaverse, it's gonna be Apple. And this is Gen 1. So I'm not here to like talk crap about this. I'm not here to say that, you know, this is gonna be a failed product, because no, people are gonna buy the hell out of this. I'm sure this thing is gonna get backed up, because nothing in Apple ever sells out, which is kind of crazy. It's always like backed up until they no longer have it on the website. And this is literally the future. Like this is the moment that we've all been waiting for a company like Apple to finally solidify AR and VR. So this is an AR. What it does is it mixes virtual reality with actual reality. And the way that I had it was they had this dad like hanging out with his kids, and I was talking to my husband. I'm like, look, you can like look at pictures of your kids while you ignore your kids. So all the scenarios that I saw, like that Apple showed, like it really felt like they were trying so hard to like make this normal. Like, oh, you're just gonna be chilling at home all by yourself, you know, with the VR. If there is a customer for this, it is like the single person that, you know, doesn't interact with anyone. And there are people out there like that. it can get dark, like that can get dark thinking about that side too, like having somebody completely immersed in a world that isn't here. And that's definitely a scary part about this because, guys, like, we've seen all the movies. Terminator's coming, you know, like, and it's scary to think about because we've seen how it ends. So let's not get, like, crazy excited about leaving this reality, but how can we make our reality better? Like, yes, you know, I am tired of having to type into my computer. I am tired of having my phone. So when Apple says something like, hey, this is the first device that you're gonna be seeing through, that just gets me hyped for like when it's this thin, when like the glasses are this thin and you know, it's all there. I wonder how long it's gonna take to get there. But from now, from what we've seen so far is it's heavy. You have a power cable hanging from you. There's no apps yet. Everyone that's tried it on has been mind blown because this is not something that's available. So Apple is taking a big step and it's a bold step. They knew they were gonna get trolled. It has a cable hanging out. Like, we know it's not there yet. It's not what we wanna see. Like, you know, because we've seen the evolution, even in movies. Like, we saw what the first one would look like. And then, you know, we just want the contact lens. When's that happening? So what I'm most excited about is definitely the music stuff for sure. Also being like fully immersed in an experience. Imagine going to like a Led Zeppelin concert or something like that and just being there. Like, guys, we live in such an amazing time. It's insane that like the things that are available to us, the knowledge that we have access to, you just choose what you feed your brain. You can feed it garbage or learn things. You just have to figure out which person are you gonna be. Are you gonna be the one that's just consuming content, or are you gonna be someone that's learning something and using tools to create things, not just consume and consume? So for the creative, I see that this is gonna be an amazing tool. Guys, it's actually a monitor. You don't even need a 16-inch anymore. You can literally pick up a smaller laptop and have that be your giant monitor. So I think that is cool, but again, it's heavy. Like, how long are you gonna be able to do that? You'll be chilling like this, and I guess that would be a lot better for your posture than this. The idea sounds weird, but it's Gen 1. Like, they're gonna get there. So you're able to have your apps, your web pages, and then the way that you control it is you move your hand up and down. They said that you don't have to be like actually like right here, like still. You can relax your hand. They're also talking about some accessibility options for people that can't use their hands. So we'll see where that heads. The thing that was most impressive to people was like the eye following. So like you look at an app and it automatically like knows that you're looking at it and that you want to select it, and also the pinching of apps. So all that stuff is gonna be super exciting. I use Ableton and I feel like Apple is gonna push me back into Logic because I'm sure the first things that we're gonna see for this is for Logic, like music wise. If you go to the developer page at the bottom, they already have like some type of DJ thing going on. This just lets us know like the future is coming, and I'm super excited for this part of it just because this is the beginning. Like, this is step one. I think for being Gen 1, it's kind of everything we expected from Apple except for the battery. I feel like the battery is the only thing that makes you go like And like I said before, the reason that they did this was because the unit is already heavy. So if you're talking about watching a 2-hour movie or doing any type of long-term video editing or anything like that, it's gonna affect your muscles. And guys, something that we don't think about is like all the pain and all the problems that these machines have. Like, I have so many hand issues from like just being on my phone, also from like doing instrument stuff, and I use my hands for a lot of things. But we don't think about that stuff. Or even like the iWatch, like having extra stress on your muscle on one side that you wouldn't have if you didn't have like this device on you, you know, like things like that. So like imagine this big heavy thing on your neck like this, you know, like that's gonna stress your neck, that's gonna stress your shoulders, your back. These are all things that everyone needs to keep in mind with these type of devices. I'm not sure how long you'll be able to wear this device comfortably. And what ended up happening with my VR headset, and like of course this is Gen 1, I think this was like 2017, maybe before, I don't remember when it came out, but like you can't wear this thing for more than 5 minutes, like everything's blurry. But of course that's not how the Apple one is. It's super crisp. You have 4K on each eyeball. What I've heard people say is that everyone is skeptical until they try it. Luckily I have an Apple store nearby, so when that comes out, I'm definitely gonna go check it out. And the sad thing is that like next to the Apple store, there used to be a Microsoft store. And I remember like 5 years ago, I think it was like 2016 or 2017, it was a while ago when the Microsoft VR had come out, or AR, I don't remember which one it was, but they were like taking surveys of people and they're like, you know, you can try it and let us know how it is. And like I tried it with my husband and we were like, oh man, this is really lame. It was just like a tiny square. It was like the smallest, tiniest little square, and that's all you had to look at. That's pretty much the whole area. This is like 180, so if anyone is gonna do it right, it's Apple. And if anyone is gonna take that first step, I'm glad it was Apple. And it's crazy because it's not the first step. Like, there's already VR headsets out there, but I feel like this is the only time the average consumer is gonna pay attention to something like this. So that's my thoughts on the VR headset. Also that it's like super creepy, and I hope it doesn't take over the world, and I hope people aren't just like sitting by themselves, not eating, not taking care of their kids, not talking to anyone, just fully immersed in this fake universe. You know what y'all need to focus on? Make a fucking robot to wash these damn dishes. Make a robot to clean this damn house. Then we can get some music done. Shit.